Failure is something everyone experiences, but few people face it in front of millions. Ant Anstead's life is proof that even the strongest and most talented can stumble. His story isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about what you do after making them. When Radford Motors collapsed, many expected him to hide or disappear from the public eye. But Ant didn't run away. He took full responsibility, accepted the loss, and started again from zero. That kind of honesty is rare in the entertainment industry, where image often matters more than truth. He admitted that success had blinded him for a while, and that he had lost balance between passion and pressure. By accepting his failure openly, he turned it into a lesson for others. He began talking more about mental health, work-life balance, and the importance of self-awareness. He showed that sometimes failure isn't the end. It's just feedback from life, telling you to change direction. Through interviews and social media posts, he often reminds his followers that success isn't measured by fame or money, but by peace of mind. This mindset has become one of the most inspiring parts of his journey. Fans who once admired his cars now admire his courage to start over. After leaving Wheeler Dealers, many thought Ant would fade away from TV. Instead, he surprised everyone by reinventing himself again. He began focusing on smaller, passion-driven projects, including his workshop series and car restoration content that felt more personal and creative. Without the tight schedule and corporate pressure of big productions, Ant rediscovered why he fell in love with car building in the first place. He began teaching workshops, mentoring young mechanics, and sharing insights about craftsmanship online. Away from the bright lights of the studio, he found joy in the sound of tools, the smell of paint, and the satisfaction of creating something with his hands. He often says that success should feel peaceful, not stressful. This new phase of his career isn't about ratings or competition, it's about fulfillment. Viewers who follow him now see a man who's calmer, wiser, and genuinely happy. He's still doing what he loves. Only now, he's doing it on his own terms. This part of his life shows how important it is to evolve. Sometimes, walking away from something big isn't quitting. It's choosing peace over pressure. Through all his ups and downs, one constant source of motivation for Ant has been his children. He has often said that being a father is the greatest role of his life. During his hardest moments, thinking about his kids gave him the strength to keep going. Even when he was away for filming or dealing with legal and financial struggles, he stayed committed to being present for them. He shared moments of joy on social media, building toys, painting with them, or simply spending quiet time together. These small acts showed a softer, more personal side of him that fans deeply connected with. His focus on co-parenting and protecting his children from public exposure also earned respect. He never used them for sympathy or media attention. Instead, he protected their privacy fiercely. Ant often speaks about teaching his children the importance of humility, honesty, and hard work, lessons he learned through his own struggles. To him, success means raising kids who are kind and grounded, not just successful. His story reminds parents everywhere that no matter how busy life gets, nothing is more valuable than being there for your family. In many ways, his journey as a father reflects his broader philosophy: rebuild, nurture, and never give up on what truly matters. After finding peace in his own life, Ant started helping others who were going through similar challenges. He began speaking about topics like resilience, change, and personal growth at small events and interviews. His message was simple: everyone deserves a second chance. Many people who followed him for cars now follow him for life advice. His honesty about therapy, loss, and rebuilding has inspired thousands to talk more openly about their own mental health. He encourages men, in particular, to let go of the old idea that showing emotions is weakness. Real strength, he once said, is learning to ask for help when you need it. That sentence alone became widely shared online. Ant also supports educational programs for young mechanics, offering mentorship and advice. Through his workshop initiatives, he aims to pass on skills and values: creativity, patience, and respect for craftsmanship. He believes that teaching others is the best way to honor his own experiences. By turning his pain into purpose, Ant has proven that success means more when it helps others rise with you. While Ant has mostly moved away from mainstream fame, he still talks about how destructive media pressure can be. During his divorce and business issues, He learned how quickly public opinion can change. One week, you're celebrated. The next, you're criticized. He said in an interview that being famous sometimes feels like living inside a glass box. Everyone can see you, but no one really knows you. That loss of privacy was one of the hardest parts of his career. Every small mistake was magnified, every rumor exaggerated. Over time, he learned to disconnect from social media negativity and focus on real life instead. Fame, he realized, can give you opportunities, but it can also trap you if you start believing everything people say. His ability to step away from the spotlight and prioritize mental health shows immense maturity. Many celebrities struggle to let go of public attention, but Ant showed that peace is more valuable than popularity. His story is now used as an example in discussions about mental health and entertainment. Proof that even in glamorous industries, real happiness comes from within, not from applause. If there's one word that defines Ant Anstead, it's reinvention. From police officer to car builder, from TV star to entrepreneur, from public heartbreak to personal peace, he has shown the power of transformation again and again. Reinvention doesn't mean forgetting your past. It means learning from it. Ant once said that every car he rebuilds teaches him something about life. How every dent tells a story, and every repair adds strength. That idea beautifully reflects his own journey. Each failure and success became a part of his evolution. What sets him apart is his willingness to change, even when it's scary. Many people stay in unhappy careers or relationships because they fear starting over. Ant's life proves that change, while painful, often leads to better things. Reinvention isn't a single act. It's a mindset. It means believing that no matter what breaks, it can be rebuilt. And sometimes, what comes after the rebuild is stronger and more beautiful than before. Today, Ant Anstead's legacy goes far beyond the cars he built or the shows he hosted. His true legacy lies in his attitude toward life. He's shown that you can be strong without being harsh, ambitious without being arrogant, and successful without losing your humanity. The entertainment world is full of people who chase fame, but Ant chased fulfillment. His life teaches that true success is not about how high you climb, but how gracefully you rise after falling. In his own quiet way, he has become a role model for resilience. People from different walks of life, mechanics, single parents, entrepreneurs, and even students, see a piece of themselves in his struggles and victories. Through every challenge, he stayed authentic. And that authenticity is what will make his story remembered long after the TV lights fade. Whether or not he returns to mainstream television, his influence continues to grow. Fans still look to him not just for car inspiration, but for life inspiration. He stands as a reminder that fame may come and go, but integrity lasts forever. In the end, Ant Anstead's story is not just about one man's journey. It's a mirror for anyone who has ever faced loss, change, or failure. His experiences remind us that life is unpredictable, but growth is always possible. Whether it's rebuilding a car or rebuilding a life, the process is the same: patience, care, and belief. He has shown that no matter how dark things get, there is always light ahead if you keep moving. His words and actions continue to inspire countless people who feel stuck or broken. What makes his message powerful is its simplicity. You don't need to be perfect to move forward. You just need to start. For Ant, every broken engine he fixed became a symbol of renewal. For his fans, his life became proof that no fall is final. Today, as he lives a quieter, happier life surrounded by love and purpose, Ant stands as living evidence that redemption is real, and that sometimes the best way to move forward is to slow down, breathe, and begin again. When Ant Anstead announced his exit from the popular show Wheeler Dealers, fans around the world were left stunned. For many viewers, Ant wasn't just another television presenter. He was the heart and soul of the show. His friendly personality, mechanical skills, and genuine passion for cars made him stand out. But suddenly, without much warning, he was gone. Behind this surprising decision was a complicated mix of personal and professional challenges that had been building for years. On screen, Ant always seemed full of life, smiling and energetic. Off-screen, however, he was facing a series of events that slowly pushed him to the edge. The end of his marriage, his business troubles, and emotional exhaustion. Leaving Wheeler Dealers wasn't just about moving on to something new. It was about survival. It was a decision to protect his mental health and rebuild his life. Many fans initially speculated that Ant's departure might have been due to conflicts with producers or co-stars. But as more details emerged, it became clear that the truth was deeper and more personal. The show had become too demanding, taking him away from his children and personal peace. For someone who valued family above fame, the price of success had become too high. So, while viewers were sad to see him go, those who looked closer could see that Ant's decision wasn't about walking away from the spotlight. It was about finding light again in his own life. Before Wheeler Dealers, Ant Anstead was just another man chasing his dream. He wasn't born into fame or wealth. Instead, he built his life with determination and hard work. As a car builder and designer, Ant had a special gift. He could take something old, broken, or forgotten and turn it into something beautiful. When he joined Wheeler Dealers in 2017, fans quickly noticed his genuine love for classic cars and his down-to-earth personality. Replacing Ed China was no easy task. Ed had been with the show for years and had a massive fan base, but Ant didn't try to copy him. Instead, he brought his own style, calm, creative, and modern. Viewers saw how he worked with patience and pride, explaining each step in a way that even beginners could understand. His chemistry with co-host Mike Brewer made the show even more enjoyable. The cars they restored weren't just metal machines. They were stories, memories, and pieces of history. For Ant, Wheeler Dealers wasn't just a TV job. It was a passion project. However, as the show's popularity grew, so did the pressure. Long filming schedules, constant travel, and the pressure to keep the show's charm alive started to take a toll. The fame that once felt exciting began to feel heavy. But before that weight crushed him, Ant had already made his mark as one of television's most beloved mechanics. Behind the success of Wheeler Dealers, Ant Anstead's personal life was starting to fall apart. His marriage to Christina Hall, a well-known TV personality, was once seen as a dream match. Both were successful, attractive, and seemed deeply in love. They shared beautiful pictures, happy interviews, and even welcomed a son together. But as time went on, fame and distance began to quietly build walls between them. Their careers demanded long hours and travel across countries, leaving little time for real connection. When their separation became public, the internet turned it into a spectacle. Ant, who had always been private about his life, suddenly found himself surrounded by media headlines, online comments, and rumors. He was grieving the loss of his marriage while also trying to stay strong for his children. Divorce is painful for anyone, but when millions are watching and judging, it becomes unbearable. To cope, Ant chose silence instead of scandal. He didn't fight back online or post emotional messages. Instead, he focused on therapy, faith, and rebuilding his confidence. He later said that during that time, he realized how easy it is to lose yourself when the world only sees your smile. This period of his life became one of reflection. A reminder that even the strongest people can break, and that healing requires time, humility, and honesty. While Ant was managing his personal struggles, another challenge was waiting: the downfall of his car company, Radford Motors. What began as an exciting dream turned into a financial and emotional disaster. Along with a few business partners, Ant revived the legendary Radford name, aiming to blend classic British design with modern technology. For car lovers, the idea sounded brilliant. But in reality, running a company is far more complex than restoring a single car. Radford faced production delays, disagreements among partners, and financial issues that grew worse with time. Ant's name was tied to the brand, so when things went wrong, he became the public face of the failure. In 2024, news broke that Radford had filed for bankruptcy. The headlines were harsh, and critics were quick to point fingers. Ant found himself fighting legal and financial pressures that drained his spirit even more. However, this failure didn't define him. Instead, it taught him the value of humility and resilience. He learned that not every dream turns out as planned,